Hi, it's Dave T here, and with the night's drawing in, it's as good a time as any to look at some USB rechargeable LED torches. And there's plenty to choose from on the market, but is it worth going for a branded expensive one, or a cheap one, or just something in the middle? Well, I decided with my own money and with no other inducements from other companies to purchase 3 torches off of Amazon, all of which purported to have 1000 lumen brightness and were all USB rechargeable. The lowest price torch was £12.99, the middle one was £27.95, and the most expensive was £46.70. So I looked at getting some of those, and here's what happened. If packaging is important to you, then the Aukelly is quite obviously the cheapest of the 3 in a very basic box, which clearly lists the torch's features on the outside of the box and with the torch inside wrapped in some simple bubble wrap. The Trustfire was actually the only packaging to be sealed with a cellophane wrapper. The box is nicely designed with product details on the front and back and a simple vacuum formed insert to hold the torch in transit. The Olight's packaging has a slightly more premium feel, made of a higher GSM cardboard with gloss print for the product photo and comprehensive product details on the back. In terms of accessories, the Aukelly comes with a basic instruction guide, an attached lanyard and a standard 19-inch USB micro charging cable. The Trustfire comes with an instruction guide, a metal clip to attach the torch to a belt or other thin surface, a pouch which can also be attached to a belt, a standard 19-inch USB micro charging cable, a lanyard and some spare rubber seals. The Olight's nicely designed packaging manages to squeeze in an instruction guide, a lanyard, I'm going to call it velvet accessories bag, a box to hold the battery when not in the torch, and a magnetic USB charge cable. The lanyard, by the way, comes with a pre-attached temporary threading pin to help you thread it onto the torch, which is a nice touch. The Aukelly has perhaps unsurprisingly the lowest build quality, particularly in terms of the accessories. The lanyard is functional but very basic, with crude plastic toggles and an overly large clip and ring attachment that stops the torch from standing upright on its base. The torch body itself is well cast and is certainly robustly made, with no slender external parts that are likely to crack or break, given its, well, let's call it bold design. It has a removable generic standard battery, but watch out for the grease used to help seal the compartment. The Trustfire has a less ostentatious design, which seems to be well made and quite robust without the heft of the Aukelly. The design of the base means that it is not very stable when standing on its end. It is nice that they provided a pouch, but worth noting that the position of the Velcro suggests that the pouch is actually designed for a torch that is about an inch longer. The lanyard is basic but well made. It has a Trustfire branded removable battery which is sealed when delivered. The Olight is a demonstration of good quality engineering. The lanyard is slightly elasticated and has a tensioner slider to help secure it to your wrist. The base is not just perfectly flat to allow it to stand upright, but also magnetic. The machining and anodizing of the body is perfect, with nice touches such as the metallic blue detailing around the lens and button. The removable clip is designed to work in both directions and also has a small hole as a secondary lanyard attachment point. In terms of size and weight, perhaps unsurprisingly, the Olight is the smallest and lightest at 55 grams. The Trustfire is in the middle in both size and weight at 113 grams, with the Aukelly the biggest and heaviest at a hefty 185 grams. In terms of runtime, the Aukelly claims 4 hours on maximum power, and whilst I have not tested it until fully depleted, it certainly outlasted the other two. The Trustfire's 1 hour and 45 minutes matches fairly closely what I found through testing, though testing is somewhat subjective as the torch switches automatically to low power as the battery depletes. The Olight is unsurprisingly, due to its size, the shortest lived at 1.5 hours. It's worth noting that if used on full power for a long time, then the Trustfire in particular gets very hot, almost too hot to hold comfortably. The Olight gets quite warm, but the Aukelly, probably due to its size and bulk, does not suffer from this problem at all. We took all three torches out on a dark night to test them with the camera set on manual so that all of the shots avoid any kind of camera compensation. We then tested them at 10, 20 and approximately 30 meters. I really must get a longer tape measure. I've also added 4 stops of exposure when editing all of the clips, just so you can get an impression a bit more like what we saw on the night. The initial distance tests were interesting, with the Trustfire being slightly better than the Aukelly and giving fair illumination up to 20 meters and just about reaching me at 30 meters. The Olight in comparison was quite disappointing until you look at the beam pattern. With each torch being held horizontally at waist height, you can see how the Olight is almost illuminating the holder's feet. This means that when walking with the Olight you have a full field of view, whilst both of the other torches are better if you want to illuminate something that is very far ahead of you. The Aukelly has 3 power modes, a strobe mode and also an SOS signalling option. It always starts in full brightness and can be turned off by either pressing the button to go through each mode to reach off, 5 clicks from high, or a single long 2-second press. The Trustfire also has 3 power modes and 1 strobe mode, which is accessed by pressing and holding the switch for 1.5 seconds whilst the torch is on. I prefer this method of accessing strobe as it avoids accidentally turning it on. However, like the Aukelly, it does always turn on at full power. It does, however, have an interesting feature whereby if you hold the button for 1.5 seconds whilst the torch is off, then it will lock the torch and only turn on after another long press. This is really useful to avoid accidental turn on, as at full brightness these torches will actually burn certain materials left near the lens. The Olight has 4 modes and probably the smartest way to access them. Once turned on, changing between the 3 modes is achieved by holding the button down and the torch will simply cycle through all of the different brightness levels. Simply release the button to stop at the desired brightness. The torch is turned on and off with a single click and it turns back on at the last used brightness level. Alternatively, you can turn it on with a long press to access an ultra low level moonlight mode that's really useful for some extra light without losing your night vision. The strobe function is accessed with a triple click, so you really aren't likely to enter it by mistake. There's also a lockout mode which is accessed by a 2-second press while switched off, and a timer option where the torch will turn off after either 9 or 3 minutes. The Aukelly is rated at IP65, which protects it from dust and water sprays, with the other 2 torches rated as IPX8, which means that they can both be submerged to 1 meter or more. Though it's worth noting that the Trustfire has a micro USB with an external rubber cover which needs to really be closed to seal it, whilst the Olight's charge connection is designed to be left open to the elements. Each of the torches can be charged using USB cables, with both the Aukelly and the Trustfire using a standard micro USB cable. The Olight, however, has a custom USB charge cable which connects to the torch magnetically, and I have mixed feelings about this. The Olight is definitely easier to connect for charging and gives a very satisfying click if you like that sort of thing, and personally I do. I also suspect that the less delicate connector will be more reliable over time. However, the problem with the Olight, it's clearly designed as an EDC type of torch, but because of the non-standard connector, it requires a special cable to be carried also. Now, I have micro USB cables almost everywhere, in my car, around my house, in various camera and laptop bags, and even in my EDC pouch. see that link above, and failing that I know that I'll usually be able to borrow one. But the Olight connector is proprietary and specific, which is, in my opinion, a bit of a design flaw. You can buy spare Olight charging cables, but what I'd really like to see is Olight come out with the same magnetic base, but which has a micro USB port on its side. That could then be carried with or even on the torch due to its magnetic attachment for a much more portable EDC solution. So in conclusion, is it worth buying the cheapest of the torches, the most expensive, or just sticking to the middle ground? Well, the cheapest one, the Aukelly, is certainly a serviceable torch. It's quite basic and somewhat bulky, but as a general torch, it would have to break quite a few times for it not to be worth the money, and it does have a nice long battery life, though I really wouldn't want to carry it around with me all of the time due to the size. The Trustfire is a nice middle ground, and for the price I paid for it, it's a pleasant enough torch. It has reasonable features. The heat issue is a bit of a problem if you're going to be using it on full power for any length of time, and again the beam pattern is not ideal for walking since it's quite tight, though it does have the furthest reach of the three. The Olight is probably the best EDC torch of them, purely due to its size and weight. You can put it into your pocket and forget about it, apart from the fact that the magnetic base picks up on coins in your pockets if you have any. Other than that, the fact that it has the shortest battery life and also a non-standard USB charger does compromise it somewhat as an EDC torch. However, it is incredibly well built, lovely to look at and in the hand, and well packaged as well. So if you're looking for a gift for someone, then this is the one that's going to be probably best received. So that's it. Hope you found this useful. If you did, then please hit that like button, and if you have any comments or questions, then put them in the comment section down below and I will do my best to answer them. As always, thanks for watching.